This is IMT News.
देखती आंखों सुनते कानों आपको रशंदा जाहिद का सलाम। आप देख रहे हैं IMT न्यूज फ्रॉम लंदन। मुख्तार पानीवाला एक मेहनती, हमदर्द और खिदमत खल्क के जज्बे से सरशार शख्सियत हैं। अपनी जिंदगी के तजर्बात और जद्दोजहद के जरिए उन्होंने ये साबित किया कि अगर नीयत नेक हो तो हर मुश्किल आसान हो जाती है। वो बरसों से माजूर अफराद की खिदमत में मसरूफ अमल हैं और इनके मसाइल को समझकर इनके हुकूक के लिए जद्दोजहद कर रहे हैं। उन्होंने मुख्तलिफ फलाही इदारों और समाजी तंजीमों के साथ मिलकर दर्जनों ऐसे मंसूबे मुकम्मल किए जो माजूर अफराद की जिंदगी में आसानी लाएं। इनकी रहनुमाई में दर्जनों लोगों को व्हील चेयर, आले समात, छड़ी, माली मदद और मुख्तलिफ तरबियती मौके फराहम किए गए हैं। मुख्तार पानीवाला की जिंदगी एक मिसाल है कि किसी भी कम्युनिटी की खिदमत दिल से की जाए तो तब्दीली जरूर आती है। उन्हें न सिर्फ यूनिवर्सल मेमन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बल्कि पूरी मेमन कम्युनिटी फख्र से देखती है। मुख्तार पानीवाला की मुतासिर कुन सवाने उम्री कई अकसाद पर मुश्तमिल है। देखते रहिए और हमारे साथ जुड़े रहिए। आइए देखते हैं पार्ट 11।
Hello and welcome. I'm Mukhtar Paniwala, president of the Disabled Wing Universal Memon Organization. And today, I can't wait to share one of the most fascinating stories in the history of city travel. The London Metro, or as so many know it, the Tube. This is the tale of where it all started, how tunnels were first carved under busy streets, and just how enormous, vital, and surprising London's underground has become today. First, let's talk about where the idea for the tube actually came from. It's really down to one persistent Victorian lawyer named Charles Pearson. Back in the 1840s, London was bursting at the seams. The streets were jammed with horses, cabs, carts, and crowds, all trying to get across the city at the same time. Pearson saw the growing chaos, and in 1843, he had an idea that most people thought was crazy: build trains under the ground. He wanted a system that would not just ease traffic, but help workers by offering affordable, fast travel across London. He even called them trains and drains. Imagine the reactions at the time. He spent years fighting for the project, raising funds, and convincing the city to support it. By the 1860s, Pearson and a whole team of engineers and investors had gathered enough support and money. In 1863, London opened the world's first underground railway, the Metropolitan Railway from Paddington to Farringdon. Sadly, Pearson died just months before that opening ride, but his vision, one that so many doubted, had already changed the future of cities worldwide. So how were these first tunnels actually built? In the 1860s, builders didn't have modern machines, so they started with the cut and cover method. Workers dug trenches along the roads, built sturdy brick tunnels in the trench, and then covered them back up with earth and pavement so regular life could continue above ground. Construction was tough, often displacing people living above the tracks, and workers faced constant challenges with water, old pipes, and even the fear of cave-ins. For the really deep lines that came later, especially in the late 1800s and early 1900s, engineers invented shield tunneling and used cast iron, big, round sections pieced together, to dig safely under rivers and right beneath the city without damaging buildings above. Now let's jump forward to see how this small Victorian experiment became a giant. Today, London has 11 main tube lines, all color-coded: Bakerloo, Central, Circle, District, Jubilee, Metropolitan, Northern, Piccadilly, Victoria, Hammersmith and City, and Waterloo and City. There are a staggering 272 stations, stretching from historic platforms in the heart of the city to leafy suburbs miles away. The tube network covers about 454 kilometers, or nearly 282 miles of tracks. That's farther than the distance from London to Paris. If you break it down, you'll find the network divided into 9 fare zones, which help manage ticket costs and organize the system. The Central Line is the longest, running east to west for over 74 kilometers, while some lines, like the Waterloo and City, are just a couple of stops. And it's not just underground. Nearly half the tube actually runs above ground, especially in the outer boroughs. Here's the wild part for train geeks. At rush hour, about 500 trains are running at the same time, whisking passengers beneath and above London at speeds up to 100 kilometers an hour. Some of the newer trains even have air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and real-time displays, keeping Londoners moving and connected. All this helps move around 4 million passenger journeys through the system on an average weekday. That's over 1 billion journeys each year, making London's underground one of the busiest metro systems anywhere. The story doesn't stop there. Over its long history, the tube has survived 2 world wars, its tunnels turning into shelters during bombing raids. It's inspired transit systems all over the globe, and its iconic map, designed by Harry Beck in 1931, set the gold standard for how to make complex networks easy to understand. And it just keeps growing. The recent Elizabeth line, while not a tube line but part of the wider London rail network, brought high-speed connections to even more parts of the city. One last fun detail. Hampstead Station is the deepest on the network, 67 meters or 220 feet below ground. And the shortest journey, that's between Leicester Square and Covent Garden, just 300 meters, which adventurous tourists actually walk faster than the train. To sum up, the London Metro was sparked by Charles Pearson's bold idea in the 1840s, saw its first passengers in 1863, and has grown into a railway that redefined what a city could be. From hand-dug brick tunnels under Victorian streets to a seamless, tech-driven web of 272 stations and over 450 kilometers of tracks, the tube remains the beating heart of London. I'm Mukhtar Paniwala, president of the Disabled Wing at Universal Memon Organization, and the London Metro's story reminds me that with vision, grit, and teamwork, even the busiest, most chaotic city can be made to move in harmony. Thank you for joining me on this journey underground and across history. Next time you ride a metro, know that you're following in some truly visionary footsteps.
Rakshinda Zahid, IMT News, London.